Okay, we'll discuss on SAP introduction. Like, what is SAP? SAP is a ERP product. What is ERP? Enterprise Resource Planning. Yeah, like in most of you might have come across this in your academics, in your graduation or post graduation. Whoever into IT or some computer science background, you might have come across what is ERP. ERP is a enterprise resource planning system. SAP is one of the ERP. Okay, SAP is one of the ERP product. There are many ERP products in the market. ERP products are released by Oracle. ERP products are released by Microsoft. So they have own ERP products for different companies. So SAP is one such company which designed its own ERP product. Okay. So let's come to let's discuss first where we are. I'm telling you SAP is a ERP product, but what is the need of ERP products? What is the need of ERP? Let's say there is a company. So let's assume it as a Tata Group. In a company or in an organization, there will be different departments, right? For example, HR, sales, procurement department. Yeah. So let's assume in this organization there are different departments. Each department is going to operate individually, right? With their specific domain. So HR department will handle hiring process and payroll and employee benefits, etc. Right? They're not going to involve in production and they are not going to involve in sales or finance or procurement, right? And the sales department, what is the main functionality of the sales department? They sell the products to the customers, right? So marketing or selling products of the company is the main functionality of the sales department, right? So and they don't have anything they don't do any functionalities related to HR department. They only handle sales. And another department is procurement department. What is their main functionality of the procurement department? Purchasing whatever the goods or whatever the raw materials required for the company, right? That is what the functionality of the procurement department. They are not going to involve in sales or human resource. That is the individual functionality. What is the functionality of production or production planning? So this department is going to handle manufacturing of the products. Let's say Tata makes cars, right? So the production department is going to handle manufacturing of the cars. Okay? So they manufacture the end product. What is the end product for the Tata cars or Tata Motors? End product or finished product. What is their finished product for Tata cars? A car, right? For example, what is the finished product or end product of Apple? iPhone or Mac. They are the finished products. Okay? End product. What is the functionality of finance department? Finance department is going to handle account payables or account receivables from different departments. So finance department has to pay salaries. Finance department too has to pay amount for procurement to buy the raw materials. And finance department has to receive revenue from sales department, right? So finance department is going to interact with different departments like human resources, sales and procurement, correct? Now, let's come back to the production. So to manufacture a car, so why we have a separate procurement department? What is the functionality of procurement department? They buy raw materials, right? So where these raw materials is going to use to manufacture a car, they need the production department need raw materials because so yeah, it is true that Tata make cars. That doesn't mean that they are going to manufacture everything. For example, they need tires, right? For every car, tires are required, right? So Tata is not going to manufacture tires. They are going to buy it from vendors who manufacture tires, right? And they use it in their production. They need lights, right? Car need a lights, right? Are they going to manufacture lights? No, no, they are not going to manufacture lights. They are going to procure from a different vendor who manufacture or who is very good in manufacturing lights, right? And there is a music system. Are they going to manufacture their own music system? No. So they are going to procure from a different vendor, maybe Bose or some JBL. They are going to manufacture. They are going to buy it from a different vendor. Similarly, a car contains thousands of components. Cars need chipsets, electronic chips, right? There are many electronic devices and there are many mechanical components in a car. Tata is not going to manufacture everything. They are going to buy it from the vendors and they make use of those raw materials and design a car, right? So there is an integration between procurement and production department, right? Now, let's say procurement department has purchased 1,000 tires from some MRF company by creating a purchase order. Who needs to pay that? For procurement department, finance department has to generate that account payables. Okay? There is an integration between procurement and finance department, right? Now, so what is the functionality of sales department? Selling, sell the finished products. So who's going to receive that revenue? Yeah, correct. Again, there is an integration between sales and finance department. And can you guys tell me why this integration required between sales and production department? Is it required? Yes. Yeah. Let's assume. Correct. Correct. Let's assume sales department is able to grab a huge contract to manufacture 10,000 cars. For example, Ola or Uber ordered 10,000 cars for their taxi companies. It's a huge order, right? What they need to do, what the sales department has to do? Sales department has to check with production department about the availability of the production or availability of the cars and their expected date of delivery, right? By what time the production department can deliver those cars so that they can hand over it to the customer. Sales department should be integrate with the production department to know that inputs, and sales department has to work with production department to complete that manufacturing of the cars within the agreed timelines, right? There is an integration between sales and production department. Now tell me how production and HR departments are integrated. Right. So to manufacture the traditional 10,000 cars, can they run that production with the existing staff with having that 10,000 additional orders? The workforce is not adequate or not sufficient to handle that additional orders. What they need to do? The production department has to request the human resources department to provide workforce. Workforce means employees with the different skills, right? So the production department will work with human resource department to get that employees or workforce who will actually manufacture the finished products or the cars, right? There is an integration between production department and HR department, right? And HR department has to recruit the additional workforce, and the HR department needs to handle their benefits like insurance, okay, and their PF, etc. And they'll run the payroll, right? HR department will track your timesheets or your work hours, and they are going to generate the payroll, right? Monthly um, salaries, right? But actually, who will pay the salaries? Finance department will pay the salaries. They'll send that payroll data to finance. So the finance department will generate those salaries. There is an integration between HR and finance department, right? So whoever working in production planning or sales or procurement, so for all these employees, HR department will generate the payroll by tracking their work hours and maybe their shift allowances, everything. And they'll submit that data to finance department, and finance department will generate your payroll and credit your salaries, correct? Now similarly, in a large organizations there will be many departments which should need integration, right? If there is no communication between these different departments, what will happen? Let's say each department is working individually without communicating with different departments. Then no one knows what is happening in other department. And sales department doesn't know like what is the availability of the stock, what is the expected date of their orders. And HR department doesn't know like how many workforce they need for production planning department, right? There is a lot of miscommunication will happen. The delay, like that delays the process, delivery process, right? That delays the procurement of the raw material, that delays the payments of the, like that delays the payments from finance department. If you delay the payments to the vendors certainly they're not going to be happy, right? They may not work with you in future. They may not be very interested to work with you in future. Okay, let's say sales department committed for a order and they are not able to deliver within the time. The customer will be not like at the end of the day, if the deadline is passed on, like customer is not going to be happy, right, about the company's service. So the company is going to lose business, right? So if there is a better integration between these different departments, we can improve the business, we can maximize the profits for the company, right? For example, how integration will work. For example, sales department create a sales order with 10,000 cars. The data should be automatically available for production department. Okay, sales department got order for 10,000 cars. Estimated delivery date is some January 30th, right? And we have to make production planning for that. The data should be automatically available for that production planning. Not like some sales manager needs to call the production manager and he needs to explain the every requirement and the delivery date like that, right? There should not be a manual process, right? Whenever sales department create a sales order, that should be automatically available for production planning department, right? Whenever production planning department created a request for workforce, that should be automatically available for HR department so that they can plan, okay, they can plan recruiting the resources. And again, so when the sales department create the sales order, it contains the price, right? What is the price of each item? Everything will be in sales order, and finance department should have that visibility. What is the selling price and what is the expected revenue, right? So there should be a integration. Without integration between these two different departments, the large organizations may not function properly, right? ERP is comes into picture. So enterprise resource planning is a software. It's a software which provides ready to use solutions or predefined solutions to run the organization. Okay, ERP is a software product which is which provides ready to use solutions to run a organization. Okay, so how it is different from other softwares? We have a lot of softwares, right? We have Java, .NET, C, C++. There are many softwares, right? Obviously, you can use any software, you can use Java, you can use C or C++ to design a ERP product. ERP product can be designed on any software technology like Java, .NET, C++, by similar programming languages, right? But it takes time. If you need to build a ERP product from the scratch, it may take 3, 4 years or 5 years to build complete ERP product, which is ready to use in your organization. It takes 3 or 4 years, and we don't know, after building the product, we don't know how many issues will be there in the product. Again, you have to fix all those issues for years, right? Now, yeah, SAP is a ERP product, right? How it is special from other products? SAP is a predefined ERP solution. What do you mean by predefined? All the business functionalities which we are using, these different departments, right? All are pre-configured or already developed, tested and proved for years. That is the ERP product. That is the SAP ERP product that contain all predefined solutions, right? You don't need to develop anything. You just buy the ERP license and install in your IT landscape, and you can start using it, right? For example, this organization purchased a SAP ERP and configured in their landscape. Now, sales department needs to create a sales order. Do they need to design any special software? No. Just open the SAP ERP, and there is a program or a application already available to create the sales order. Just what is the material and what is the quantity, who is the customer and what is the expected delivery date, and click on save. It will automatically create that sales order, and that will be automatically integrated with the production department, finance department, whatever the departments required integration. You don't need to do any manual process, right? And then let's say when a HR, human resource department recruited a new employee, they need to create the employee details, right, in the organization. Their employee master data, what is their address, what is their emergency contact numbers, and what are their family dependents for insurance, everything, right? If we have SAP ERP product, do they need or do they need to create any new application to enter the data into SAP system? No. Yeah, all the HR applications are already created by SAP and made available as part of SAP ERP product. So the HR will just open that relevant application or program and just enter the details and click on save, right? And again, the data, that employee data will be integrated with finance department to run the payroll, right? And to create their PF accounts, to track their income tax returns, right? So SAP ERP is a product which contains all predefined solutions. Predefined means already developed solutions, which are like how they developed this ERP product. So you might already aware that SAP is a German company. They designed their product 1980s, I think. How they designed this ERP product? What they did first? They analyzed the business process of the many organizations. They went to many organizations and analyzed this business process how they are running the business, what is their daily business process, and they designed this product with all those common business practices or common applications in which every business is using. For example, if you take any college, if you take any engineering college as example, what is the regular process of the engineering college? So it opens by 8 or 9 a.m. and there is a transportation which pick up the students and drop in the college, and the classes will be starting. There is a timetable, right? According to the timetable, professors will take classes and they conduct the exams and they provide the results, and students has to pay annual fees and exam fees, right? These are all common to any engineering college, right? All these process, most of the process are common. But if you strictly compare two colleges, are the process going to match 100%? No, there will be 10 to 20% difference between one college to another college. You might already know, like where one college is very strict in attendance, the other college is somewhat liberal. One college is very strict in dress code, the other college might be liberal. There are many differences, like very many minor or major differences. But if you take 70% of or 80% of their daily process is same, only this 20% is different, right? Similarly, what SAP did, they analyzed business process of the many organizations, and they designed a common business practices where most of the organizations are following, right? This process should be common to any business, like the integration between HR departments, finance departments, sales and production, procurement. This business process is common in any organization. It is very required process in any organization, but there will be minor differences between company to company. In some company, there might be approval process before going to send the request to production. There will be approval process here. If someone approves, then that request goes to production department. Similarly, there will be many minor differences, right? But most of the 80% of the business process is common for any organization, like creating sales orders, creating purchase orders, generating the payroll. So SAP designed a ERP product with all those common business practices, and they designed the applications, and they designed the logic also, business logic also, right? So one organization can purchase the SAP ERP and they can install in their IT landscape and they start running their business on that SAP ERP. Just like MS Office, if you purchase the MS Office, do you need to write any coding to create the Word documents or Excel files? No, just install into your system and start using. So ERP is also similar kind of product. Install in your IT landscape and you can start using it. Since I am making this statement, you might ask me a question. Then what is the role of ABAP developers here? So if organization can purchase the SAP ERP and the functional consultants will configure the system and the end users can start using it. And what is the use of ABAP developers here? Yeah, yeah, even though 70 or 80% of the business process are common for all organizations, but remaining 20% there is a gap, right? Dep- yeah, each company may have their own business process. Okay, we have to customize or we have to enhance. Please, please remember two terms here: enhancing, customizing. Enhancing and customizing, right? We may need to enhance or we may need to customize the SAP ERP product as per the business requirement, as per the company's business requirement. Yeah. Now tell me, what is enhancement? Yes. Enhancement means adding new options without disturbing the existing. We are not going to disturbing any existing solution provided by SAP. We are just adding additional options, right? What is custom or customization? Creating your own solutions. Let's say whatever the business functionalities or whatever the programs provided by SAP is not providing or not suitable for your business requirement. What you need to do? You can create your own solution. You can create your own program, right? So that means customization or custom solutions, right? You are building your application from the scratch, from the beginning. You can create your own application. If the existing SAP business functionalities are not suitable for your requirement, right? Let's say, let's say we have a requirement, we have a business requirement, and we have one application. We have one application already available in SAP system, but that is not completely fulfilling your requirement. You need some additional options. You need, so 80% of the requirement is matching with your business process, but only that additional 20% is missing in that standard application, whatever provided by SAP. Then what you need to do? Do you need to enhance it or do you need to customize it? Yeah. So we already having 80% of the solution provided by SAP in the as part of standard solutions. We need only 20%, right? We can just enhance it with that 20% additional options. Okay. When we go for custom and we have a requirement, for example, we need to create employee master data, and SAP doesn't provide any program or application for that requirement to create the employee master data in the SAP system. Then what we need to do? We need to design our own application, right? It will work along with the standard applications. Okay. Now, who is going to do these enhancements or customizations? ABAP developers or ABAP consultants, right? So to enhance any standard applications or to create custom applications, that is the responsibility of the ABAP consultant, right? Who will provide requirement for them? Like as I said, yeah. So functional needs to do gap analysis. What do you mean by gap analysis? Gap analysis means they'll analyze the SAP applications and they compare with the company's business process. If there is any gap means the SAP application is not providing solutions for the business process. That means there is a gap between SAP product and the business process. How they need to fill that gap? By enhancing or by creating application, right? So the functional consultants will do that gap analysis. Okay, so this is the company's business process. and these are the applications available in SAP. Okay, these applications are already available for to run the business process, but there are few business process which are not suitable, or which cannot, which are like the SAP has not provided any solutions for those business process. Then we need to develop, or we need to enhance those business process. The functional consultants will do that gap analysis, and they provide requirements to the ABAP team, right, in the form of functional specifications, right. ABAP consultant is not going to find applications what he needs to enhance, or he is not going to design any solution on his own. First, he has to get requirement from the functional consultant. What is the application he needs to design? What are the inputs for the application? And what is the expected output for that application? And what is the business logic they are expecting? And what are the tables that involved? All these details should be provided by functional consultant in the form of functional specification document, or in short term FSD or FS, right. So functional consultant should work with the business team and gather the requirements, and he has to provide those inputs to the ABAP team in the form of FS. Then what the ABAP developer will do, by analyzing the FS, he will provide a technical specification document with all the technical details, and he is going to design that application in ABAP programming. Okay, that might be an enhancement, that might be a new report program, that the requirement might be anything. Clear? So is everyone clear on what is ERP? Yeah, right. They have to provide that. Sorry. Yes, yes, they have to. Yes, they need to tell us, do we need to enhance something, or do we need to create a custom solution, right? But yeah, but there are some cases where, like, if you joined in a small company and they don't have enough functional consultants, and they don't have enough resources to analyze their business process, what the customer will ask, they'll ask the ABAP developer to do whatever you want, right. Then then we have to think. Okay, and again, it's not our response. They ask you to work as both techno functional, right. In that case, you have to analyze, okay, they are asking for this report, and we need to analyze whether this report is already available in the SAP ERP or not. Huh. Yeah, yeah, for that SAP has provided documentation for every module or every functional domain with a detailed explanation. We call them as cookbooks. In that case, if we need to handle such requirements, we have to go through that cookbooks. Or there is a lot of help available in SAP blogs. Correct? Even if you type something, it will give you the relevant solutions previously implemented. Right? In SCN blog, you can, in some cases, you don't need to even write a code. You will get 100% solution or 100% code. In some minor cases, you don't need to write single piece of code. You will get everything on SCN blogs. You just need to copy and paste it. right? In some cases, if it is a complex program, you may not be able to find a complete logic in a single place. But whatever the functionalities you are implementing in that complex program, right? You can find it in many places. Validations is in one blog, business logic is in different blog, displaying report is in different blog. You can gather and combine it as a program, right? But to do that, what you need? You need some knowledge on ABAP, right? See, for example, if I give you an Arabic book, can you understand anything? No, you can't understand anything, but you don't know anything about it. But if you have some basic knowledge on Arabic, and if I give you that book, you can start exploring it, right? At least you can go through the titles or the important chapters like that, right? If you have some basic knowledge, we can start learning it. We don't feel uncomfortable. We feel comfortable when we are start learning it. So that's the skill we need to develop. Okay? If you know the basics of everything in ABAP, you can find it in online and you can implement it in your project. Okay? In case if you are if that concept is new to you, right? So I told you there are many concepts like reports, enhancements, data migrations, interfaces, many concepts in ABAP, right? Maybe if you list out, you can find 30 or 40 different topics. Can you tell me in all these 30, 40 topics, are we writing different programming languages? No, we're going to write only ABAP, right? But the place might be different. The place might be different. You have to write ABAP only. That's why if you know the basic ABAP, rest of the concepts are only navigations. Okay? In those concepts also, everywhere you have to write ABAP only. For example, it will be like this. Here if you see, there are different shapes, but what are we using here? We are using the same concept. Depends on the functionality, the usage might be different. How we are using ABAP might be different, but end of the day, what we need to use in every functionality? ABAP only, right? So first focus on learning the basic ABAP, then the rest of the concepts are very easy for you. Okay. So we have completed what is ERP. What is the next concept? OLTP and OLAP. And what is OLTP and OLAP? We can discuss in the next classes. I'll stop here and I'll answer like if you have any questions.